Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I wanted to have a little planner chat about how I talked myself out of a planner hop for now. I definitely see it coming though, so don't be surprised if you see a completely different video next week. So I've been using personal rings for the past, I don't know, several weeks, month, something like that. I could probably go back and look at my inserts and give you a real answer, but it's been going really well. I always say that I work so well in rings. I don't fear writing things down. Okay, so like 3 weeks, right? I don't fear writing things down and I can get all the crap out of my head. But I started noticing that I am writing more in dailies than I am writing in my weekly. And I was just looking at all of the wasted space. I don't have a lot of stuff here. I don't use my habit trackers as much really. And I just thought, okay, if I'm not using up all of this space, maybe I bring back Pocket Plus. And I absolutely love the Pocket Malden. It's just so scrumptious and lovely. And I wanted to use this planner. The problem is, I usually hop between ring sizes throughout the year, but I haven't used Pocket Plus since last year, so probably like February or March of 2024. So this was going to require a lot of work. I did order some inserts from Filofax that, well, I guess it was Amazon, that were like marked down to like $5, and it has the week on 2 pages. um, and I was like, if I can make the weekly work, then I can probably make the rest of it work. So I decided to go ahead and order those since they were so cheap on sale. And they came in, and I think that I could make it work. But then I thought, I literally have everything for Pocket Plus and nothing for Pocket. And so I knew that that was going to be even more work for me than moving over to Pocket Plus would. Because I think, if I'm remembering correctly, at the beginning of the year, I did buy some items in Pocket Plus and Personal because I had hopped back and forth quite a bit. The only thing is, I really want to use this particular cover, and my tabs stick out, and that makes me a little bit nuts. So I wanted to downgrade because of the tabs, which I think would be the easiest thing to work around. I wish that you could find more stuff in Pocket Plus. Almost everything that's in this planner is A6 size down to 87%. If it didn't take so much work, I think you'd see me in this now. But the other thing that kept me from hopping was that I found a brown original on eBay, and I wasn't expecting it for 2 more weeks, but it arrived yesterday. And even though I ended up not moving into it, it was what kept me in personal size. This one, it's brand new. It's never been used. It does have a defect here. I would like to kind of hold this down with some books or something to see if it would flatten. But what I think has happened is I think that the elastic was sewn in too tight and it's making this lift. So I'd like to see if I can get this to flatten. Hopefully it will. But other than that, it's just got like this shiny spot on the leather. There's like a little bit here on the front and a little bit here on the back. But other than that, it's got great rings. It even came with all of the original inserts that it would have come with um, back then. And then also inserts for 2026. And these are the inserts that I would wanted to switch it into, just because of what I just explained here with like not using the tracking and stuff as much. So this is the insert that I actually had decided to use for 2026, and I have this particular insert just only in English on the way. So I'm not sure what to do about that. Um, I was definitely not expecting it to come with dated inserts, but it even has the OG better quality envelope pocket in the back, which I don't understand why Filofax moved away from that. I have said before, and I will say again, I love Filofax. But I think that they have stopped focusing so much on quality of the leather itself and like trying to sprinkle in a bunch of new lines. And I really wish that they would just go back to making really good, solid organizers with great leather. Now the prices are really high, and I don't think that most of the time it's worth what you're paying. So this would have probably been about $110 back in the day. And now I think it's more like 160, 170, something like that. So I found this on eBay, and it was coming from China, but the seller had really good reviews. And I did ask for photos because I wanted to see the planner itself before making the purchase. And I think all said, with tax and duties or whatever, and shipping, it was $160. And so my thought was, if I bought something from Filofax, one, they don't have very many of the colors of the originals out right now, and it blows my mind. I'm like, this is such a solid planner cover. I don't know why they don't make them and make them well anymore. Um, and then even if they do have one in stock, I've just had a lot of issues with like the thread stitching and all of that lately. And so I was like, at least I can spend $160 and know it's from years ago and better quality. And even with this little issue, I just decided it was worth the money personally for me. So that coming in the mail 2 weeks early, and the work that was going to be involved in this particular planner, I just decided it wasn't worth the hop right now. But it has me thinking again of the Pocket Plus size. So I definitely am going to be adding that to my lineup for next year. I have really been enjoying these messy blank pages as dailies. I have not been finding myself drawn to journaling or even catching up in my Hobonichi weeks. We've been really busy the last few weeks. We had a trip. And so I've just been kind of writing down the things that I want to make sure are in my Hobonichi weeks or a journal, so that when I finally sit down and have the time to catch up with that, that I don't miss any of the details that are like more important for me. But this doesn't have any structure at all to it, and that was kind of like freaking me out. So I went ahead, since I wasn't taking the time to completely start from scratch with my system, I printed out my Marcia Bramucci dated dailies. And this does take a while, and it does get a little, I mean, I don't know. I have days where I'm really in the mood to do this, and then I have days where I'm really not in the mood to do this. But since I wasn't looking at like recreating the wheel, I decided I could make myself do this part of planning, which is not my most favorite. I do love that so many planner shops allow you to, buy the physical products. But the problem is there's only so many, and we all have so many unique needs. I think that there's like 4 or 5 very similar iterations of just this particular insert on Marcia, on her Etsy page. And so like nobody would be able to keep that much stock of that many options. It's not feasible for people. So digital is definitely the way to go as far as making things really customizable. And I have wanted to make my own inserts for ages. I can't get my brain wrapped around it, and I don't know really what the problem is, but every time I've gone in, my brain just flies right out of my head, and I just can't seem to do it. So I find whatever is like very close to my needs as possible and just kind of live with that. I think that I might like to reach back out to Peanuts Planner Co. and make some more slight adjustments to my weekly that I use most of the time, this worked well for me. But if I'm in a period where I just don't want to do as much tracking or whatever, I see a lot of wasted space. This is kind of a semi-custom. The base of this is a freebie on the Facebook group, but this is split and this is split, and the days are ordered differently. So those were really like simple changes that I wanted her to make to a design that I think it's like on the Facebook group, it says fan favorite. It's a great insert as is, but I just wanted to do a couple of things to make it just a little bit more me. So nothing beats rings when it comes to absolute customization. I mean, you can customize like a bound blank book, a bullet journal, but there's so much work involved in that. And I like ring pages because they look like a real planner instead of like my handwriting, but it's taking the best of like all worlds and shoving it together and putting it in one book. And if one insert doesn't end up working out, you don't have to throw out the rest of the planner. And that is so good for somebody like me that changes their mind pretty frequently about what works and what doesn't work and that kind of thing. So rings works because I can file away the open tabs of my brain, and I can take the best of everything, change my mind every half hour if I want to. Like, you're still gonna spend some money because you're buying inserts, but you know, a $3 or $4 insert is not going to be the same as a $30 or $40 planner that you're no longer using because it doesn't meet your needs anymore. So I get that people have like issues with rings and they don't like working around the rings. I used to put slits in all of my pages. I don't even do that anymore. I had decided that I didn't like it anymore. I didn't feel like it was as secure feeling. What have I done here? I have moved November into December. This is November. This is November. So I don't even slit my pages anymore. And I actually need to get working on pages that I have kind of carried with me over the years that do have slits, like redoing those and not having them anymore, because now that I don't have any inserts in there besides the remaining like health items or whatever, they drive me nuts, the slits. So if I'm having trouble writing around the rings with a certain insert or whatever, I literally just pop them out, put them on a table, start writing in them. And I've been really kind of at peace of, I just go through seasons where I feel less journaly and then more journaly. And as long as I'm keeping information in my rings enough that I can come in and update my Hobonichi Weeks memory planner or my journal, then I don't stress about it because I have those like mental triggers to help me. But we're coming up on a really busy time of the year, and I feel like I don't have as much time to kind of sit back and relax and juggle all of the things. So I would rather have my workhorse rings with me. And moving back to larger ring size for this season has been really good because I can carry more crap around with me. I do love my MeePlus, and I will definitely be moving back into this. It's got the 16 millimeter rings, which isn't horrible at all, and it will work well most of the time. But if I have holiday lists and holiday plans and my planner and my this and my that, just I need to carry a little bit more with me right now. So I decided I would go ahead and print out some dailies. And this took a little bit of time. I had done a few before I started filming. But now I have all of November and all of December ready to go. And the printer does most of the work. The thing is, just getting to a spot where your printer is like facing the right way and the page is correct or whatever. And some are easier to do than others. Like this one. This is a freebie from Plan with B, and I can't ever figure out how to get it printed right. But it's fine like this because I'll cut it out and print it and put the hole punch in it, and then, oh wait, no, that won't work. I was thinking if I have the holes here, then I can just make it upside down, but I don't think that's going to be right. Oh well. I'll just print another one. I swear I've tried like every version possible and my printer just won't do it. So there are some that are like, oh, but that's a freebie. Generally, I haven't had that trouble at all with like paid items that I have received. I think that that's probably one that's done on Canva, and I think that that might be the issue. I haven't figured out how to get front and back from Canva. Am I doing this right? Yes. I shouldn't be talking and hole punching at the same time. One day I went through and like hole punched a whole bunch of stuff and didn't check any of them, and I just wasted a whole bunch of time. So I understand that rings is sometimes not for everyone, especially because of, you know, the things that you can do wrong to mess something up and all the pitfalls and working around the rings. But if your mind is as changeable, I think this is getting full. If your mind is as changeable as mine, and you don't want to spend $40 every month on a new planner, and you like to have different sections and open tabs in your brain, and you haven't tried rings yet, I highly suggest it, just because you can just customize it so much. And I guess nothing beats a blank notebook either, but you can't rearrange it in a blank notebook, and then you have to hand draw it out, and I don't like it. I don't have time for it. And this might take me an afternoon or whatever, and if I end up buying a bunch of Pocket Plus stuff or A6 that I size down, I'll make up 2 ring systems for the year, but then they're there for me. And like I've said a million times, then some of that information is with you for years. So it's totally worth it to me. And so now I have a whole month of dailies. I don't have to worry about writing anything down, and if I have an appointment that comes up, every single thing in here is dated except for my weeklies, but I think I predated my weeklies all the way through November as well. So my planner is set to go for at least another month, and this is probably going to keep me in personal rings the rest of the year. And then I'll have this guy waiting in the wings. Okay, that's my little planner update. I have kept myself from hopping for now. I guess you'll have to wait and see what the next video brings, because you just never know. I appreciate you guys being here so much. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below what your planners are looking like with this busy holiday season. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate you doing that as well. Can't wait to talk to you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye, guys.